Hi guys, it's me the Big B and welcome back to another video. Now in my last couple of videos I tested some ITC apps, some of the new and upcoming stuff, some stuff you may not have heard of, a lot of stuff that was free just to show you guys what was out there and what was available and what you could use, and I got some awesome fucking results. If you check back on some of them videos, I got more than what I bargained for with a couple of them. But basically what this video is about is to pick up on what I spoke about in a couple of them. Reverse audio. Now this video is going to be about why I believe reverse audio is so important in the ITC world, and a lot of people are thinking the same. A lot of app writers now are starting to use reverse audio in their apps. It's took a little while to catch up, and the first person that really locked onto this was Danny Big Beard. Obviously people know him from writing Echovox and quite a few other apps, but his most famous one is Echovox. But he did EVR, Echovox R, which used reverse audio. It actually used it in a very unique way, which I'll explain very quickly. Not only did it reverse the audio, which a lot of other apps are doing now, but a lot of apps, it's inbuilt, pre-inbuilt banks. It's banks of audio that's either recordings of actual spirit boxes that are running, and they just reverse it, or it's human speech and just different sounds, but it's reversed and then played back, which is awesome. It works, and I've proved it works. But the way Echovox R works is there's no audio in there at all. You have to put the audio in. You have to supply the audio, and you can record anything. I mean, Jesus, I think it's got I think it was a 5 or 10 minute buffer or something like that. And you can put anything in. You can speak into it. You can sing into it. You can fucking tap dance and record that into it. And like I joked in one of my other videos, you can flush the fucking toilet and record that into it. You can put whatever you want. I normally use a standard. Speak 1 to 10, then 10 to 1, then the alphabet. And what Echovox R does is then splits that up into, I think it's something like 0.5 millisecond chunks. Then it reverses those chunks and then chucks them out at random. They're not even chucked out in order, it just then chucks them out at random. So you can imagine the cacophony of sound that comes out of this thing is just gibberish. It is literally just gibberish. There is no discernible human forward speech in there at all. And we have getting entire sentences forward out of this thing. And what the skeptics will say, when you're using a standard spirit box, which is obviously scans radio, AM and FM, whether you're using Echovox, whether it's got human speech in forward, whether it's cut up or not, there's still human speech in there, and a lot of these other apps, that it's just the right sound landing at the right time, and you think, yeah, you're getting a reply from something. Which again, give them the benefit of the doubt, it is possible. In an investigation, you could get a response, someone saying yes, because it's spooling off live radio, or I'm here, or whatever. Maybe it's once, 1 in a million, that you would ask a question, you would get an intelligent reply, but it's just the audio landing right at the right time. Whether they can argue that through an entire investigation that you get intelligent responses all fucking night, that's another story. But when you throw reverse audio into the mix, it rules that out completely, because there is nothing forwards. There is no forward speech. You should be getting nothing forwards out of this thing because it's backwards. You play this video backwards now of me speaking. It doesn't come out like English. It doesn't come out like anything. It's gibberish. It's basically, I liken it to playing a session on The Sims. Simoleon, as they call it. It's just random gibberish. And then when you get an entire sentence coming out forwards in different voices, with different dialect, different inflection in the voice, young, old, the skeptic can wrap anything they want around that. It rules that randomness out completely. I do know the then skeptic will then say, well, it's pareidolia. What's happening is that you ask a question and your mind is waiting for an answer, so it takes all the random gibberish and makes an answer up. Which, yeah, science would say your mind can make order out of chaos. That's why you see faces in shapes and shit like that. But my argument with that is, again, using reverse audio, I must be getting fucking serious because I picked my pen up and I'm pointing. So skeptics out there, I'm being fucking serious, right? I can sit and do an intent. When I record a session with these apps, and on any of the other videos you can go and watch, I do not edit. I might edit something like this because I'm just rambling on, I'm talking. But when I do a session, I record it whole. And I can ask dozens of questions. and I get no reply. My brain did not make up an answer in 10 questions. But then I ask one question, I will get a forwards voice answering with an intelligent reply. Why did my fucking brain just pick that one at that time? If that's how pareidolia works and my brain is waiting for an answer of a question I have just asked, it would answer every fucking question. I would hear something, oh, I heard something there. It doesn't. And the best thing of that was when I was testing Infinity Box EXP Edition, which is from Extreme Sensors. Fantastic piece of fucking software, by the way. It's free. He does lots of other things. He does Phasmabox. That uses reverse audio. Love that. But this is completely free. You can go and try it out. No cost. Costs you nothing but time. And it's got inbuilt banks of sounds. You can put whatever the fucking you want in there as well. And you can also put it in Spirit Box mode where it spills off live internet radio, which is what I do. But I put it all in reverse. You can switch a button and everything is completely in reverse. And I sat and did a 15-minute session and I got some amazing stuff. I mean, blew my mind. But within that 15 minutes, it's not one after the other. I can ask a question, get a reply. I can ask another 10 questions and get absolutely nothing. My brain is not pareidolian skeptics and putting what I want in there. But then I get to the last question and I ask, how do you perceive our world? How do you, spirits, direct question, see our world? Is it like a dream, or do you see it as clear as we do? And a clear female voice, not pareidolia, a clear female voice that has, again, inflection, it has tone, it has emotion. It says, we see everything. And it's as clear as that. It's there. Everyone else hears it. It's there. It's as simple as that. It is a voice that should not be there because there's nothing fucking forwards in the first place. It's not just random, happened to have pulled that off a radio station and just happened to have plopped it in there. Even to do that, even if the fucking thing was forwards, that would be a 1,000,000,000 to 1 shot that it would answer that question at that point at exactly the right time. And there wasn't even a pause. There wasn't a pause where you waited and you maybe think where it just happened to pop in at that time, or you're just waiting for a response. As soon as I asked a question, she replied. But, like I said, unedited. Go back in reverse and look. There was 5 or so minutes between the last question and that question where I got shit all, nothing. But I don't like editing the stuff because you see it as I see it. If you start editing stuff too much, you're starting to put doubt in people's minds that why is he editing bits out? Is he just, just picking the best bits? You get what I get, and that's how I like to do my shit. But it proves a point that it's not just pareidolia. It's not just, the right sound landing at the right time. When you use reverse audio, it changes the game completely. Things like Echo Vox R change the game completely. It rules out that chance, that random chance that shit's going to happen. And a lot more programmers are starting to see this. You've got Pugster from AppyDroid. He's wrote some brilliant apps. Again, all of his apps are free. Again, go and give them a go. I've done a couple of reviews on a couple of them, and they really work. He does ones that are based on the Ovilus way of doing things, which is a bank, not banks of actual audio, but database of words, and it uses the speech synthesis in your phone or your tablet to then speak the word. But he also does a lot of apps that have pre-built audio in them, banks of audio, and he's starting now look at doing them in reverse and doing reverse features, because a lot of people are starting to click on that this is kind of important, that it seems to be working really well, and I've shown that in some of my videos. It also takes out that random chance of people saying, well, obviously there's human speech in there, it's just fluke, it's just thing. It completely rules all that out. That's why I love the way Echo Vox R works, when it's splitting that audio up and spitting the shit out at random. There cannot be any forward speech in there. And again, the skeptic, I'll fucking point again, the fucking skeptics will say that there are words in the English language that are the same forwards as they are backwards, and this is fucking true. A tiny fucking amount, micro fucking scopic amount of words in the in English that'll sound the same forward as backwards. That does not give us entire fucking sentences in male, female, young, old voices, creepy ass horror voices coming out of this shit. That doesn't explain that. Now, I'm not getting at the Skeptics. I know I'm having a bit of fun, and I'm sort of pulling at the Skeptics a little bit. I love Skeptics. They keep things real. I like a skeptic in an investigation because they keep your feet grounded. As investigators, we sometimes get very excited about stuff, and a skeptic keeps our feet on the ground. But the skeptics I'm talking about is what a lot of my colleagues will probably comment on this fucking video. The true hardened fucking skeptic that doesn't want to believe no matter what. But at least this helps. Using reverse audio, keeping things like this, it helps keep that to a fucking minimum, because they can't they can try and explain this shit, but they can't. So I would definitely go and try some of these things out. Like I say, you've got Pugster, you've got obviously Danny. As I'm saying, Danny was a trailblazer with this sort of stuff. He basically, there were apps before this, obviously. There's been apps for a fucking long time on Android and on iPhone and things like that. I mean, hell, I started fucking years ago. So many years ago, it's actually scary to even think about it. I'll give you a hint of how long ago it was. It was when Android devices first came into circulation. That's a long time ago now. They're kind of commonplace now, but then they weren't. And what was the app called? Ghost Radar. Everyone's probably heard of that. It's still going now. How effective it was, I did get some interesting hits. I think the spinny fucking radar thing was just cosmetic rather than thing. I mean, we kind of proved nowadays, and I did in one of my videos, that a mobile phone, modern mobile phones, can detect electromagnetic field using the electromagnetic compass inside. It is possible, but back then, who knows? But I like the fact that it used the obelisk technique. Again, similar to some of Pugster's apps, and I did get some responses. Then I jumped onto the iPhone, the very first fucking iPhone 3G. Shit, that was a long time ago. But an app came out called iObulus, written by the guy who actually, I can't remember his name offhand. I'll put it in the description down below, or stick it in an annotation here. Who wrote he actually made the real Obulus device, the kind of one you see on the Ghost Adventures and shit like that now, the Obulus 3 and things, and he wrote it for the iPhone. I bought it. It was fucking awesome. It was brilliant. So this shit's been going on for a long time, but we've come a long way since then, and Android devices have developed a lot, and a lot more people have sort of writing software for these things. And again, and people say, well, it's just software, you could have put any shit in there, they could be programming words in there and it could be coming out. Again, this is true, but let's look at that, Mr. Skeptic. You can always tell the skeptic's coming because the fucking pen comes out. Mr. Skeptic. And, I mean, I've had people in my personal life tell me this as well, that, you know, that's just being programmed in there. But it's bollocks, because when you use an Echovox here, we'll pluck on Echovox here, because that's the one that I've had the most sort of controversy over, people hearing stuff coming out and saying, well, you've just put that in there yourself. You must have done it. It's not possible for that to come out of there. But for Danny to have done that, say, he would have had to have known every location I was ever going to be at, every location I'd been at, every person that was going to be there at that specific given time in the future. Danny must be fucking like Nostradamus. He must be able to predict the future like at a scary degree, and he has to have known any question that I was ever going to ask that this thing responded to, and then he would have had to program all that into Echovox, but then he would have had to do that for every person that ever used Echovox and ever will use Echovox. So you can see where I'm kind of going with this. The fact is, people saying that these programmers are just programming this stuff in there. You can program so much in there, yes. I mean, there have been some apps recently, if you watch my past videos, of people putting misleading audio into these things, as in creepy ass voices, little girls singing and shit like that, and stuff that shouldn't be in there. It should be just random speech, random human phonetics and things. That, you know, there shouldn't be misleading audio. But to suggest a skeptic, to suggest that all this stuff's being programmed in a head, the program wouldn't be able to fit on a fucking tablet, because like I say, they would have had to program it in for all of us, and it's just not possible. Like I say, maybe it's the odd word that shouldn't be in there, or a creepy sound or whatever, but no, it's not. It doesn't work like that. None of these apps do. Like I say, sneak some sneaky audio in, yes, but It's just not possible. And again, the skeptic will say this, but the alternative to what he's saying is more impossible for that to have been programmed than the fact is that a spirit is communicating through that, which is what is happening. And again, not knock on the skeptics, gotta love them, but sometimes you have to think about what they're saying. Like I said, the solution they have is more ludicrous than the actual reality of what we're trying to show them is actually happening from these devices. But I digress again. Go and try these out for yourself. That's why I put these little videos up. A lot of these are free, even the ones that aren't, they're not asking stupid money. There are ones out there, again, we'll not go into that subject, but there's some of them out there that's commanding like $50 plus cash grabs. A lot of these guys, I don't mind people getting paid for writing this software. I mean, it takes a lot to write some of this stuff. It takes a lot of man hours, takes a lot of time. Some guys give them away free. That's awesome. That's brilliant to them. But the guys that charge, that's also brilliant. They put a lot of work into these things. There's a lot of effort gone into this shit. And if they want to get some financial gain out of that, then fair enough, as long as they're sensible about it. Like a lot of Danny's apps, £12, £13. You know, that's cheap for what they do. It's cheaper than going out buying an expensive piece of tech. You can just get a cheap mobile tablet, a cheap phone, stick a box on, you've got yourself an awesome investigation tool for very little money. Some of Extreme Senses software, you know, £15-20, you can get them on the special. I mean, I got Fazbear box, I think it was like £12.45 or something I paid for it, and again, the evidence I'm getting out of that is absolutely fucking awesome, worth every penny. The Infinity Box EXP, free. They do a slightly beefed up, a hell of a beefed up version actually, which you can get, which you pay for, but the free version works just as well. If you're on a budget, go and get that and try that. You've got, obviously, like I say, Pugsters, all of Happy Droid, all of his are free anyway, so you've got no excuse not to go and try his. If you don't like them, just don't use them. If they work for you, you've got an awesome tool. Ricky Van Brackel's just come onto the scene. He's writing a lot of apps at the minute. He's just trying to cover every angle at the minute. And again, some people have complained he's, you know, too many apps coming out. I don't mind. The good ones will stay, the good ones that will stand the test of time, like the Ghost Radar, no matter whether you think it's gimmick or not, it's still around today, and a lot of other shit isn't. So the good ones will stay, the not so good ones will disappear. But again, he doesn't charge a lot. A lot of his stuff is free anyway, and the stuff he does charge for is £8, £5. I've seen them down like £2.75, 99p, whatever. They're not expensive to try. I've tested some of them out. He was kind enough to send me some of them, and I've tested them out, and they work. I got some really cool results. It's as simple as that. If I test it, it works, you get results, then, you know, a couple of quid, again, you've got a tool you can use. So between all the free ones and all the decently priced ones, you've got no excuse to go out and try these things. And again, remember, your mileage may vary. You can get the best app in the world. I can go in with EchoVox and get absolutely nothing. Can sit in, someone will say, this fucking place is so haunted, you're going to come out of here a different guy in the morning, and I'll sit in there with all the fucking tech in the world, and EchoVoxes and all these fucking apps, and I'll get nothing. And yet I'll go into a house and someone will say, well, I've had a little bit of activity, you can have a look if you want. The whole shit hits the fan. These things light up like a freaking Christmas tree, and the evidence coming out is amazing. So, like I say, your mileage may vary. Just because you buy this app, whether it's free or whether you buy it or not, it's the same thing. I've seen some of the comments that they put on the Play Store with this stuff. Just because you buy it does not mean you're going to get results. You're not going to turn this on and instantly get a spirit talking to you like that. Now, on some of my videos, I kind of do. I've been doing this a long fucking time. Like I say, I fucking first iPhone 3GS when iOvulus came out. That's how long I've been messing on with ITC stuff, and I've been into the paranormal since a child. That's all I've ever known. My very first memory was paranormal in nature, so, you know, I kind of think that the spirit world know that I'm trying to communicate with them, and it works. And yes, I can turn this stuff on, and I kind of get some really good results, and I'll only get like 1 in every 10 sessions where I'll get a slack point, where I might get nothing. But that doesn't mean that you're going to get the same. It depends. Spirit don't have to talk to you. You can go into a location, they don't have to communicate with you if they don't want to. You can't force them, no matter how many times you shout at them and try and provoke them. If they're not going to communicate, they will not communicate. But then if they want to, they'll use any means possible and you will know about it. But don't buy these apps because I've said so and then come back and say, yeah, didn't work. Give it time. You can sit, like I said, for hours and get nothing. But if we got discouraged because we don't get evidence every time, I wouldn't be doing this. I've been doing this for over 35 years. And I've sat there bored shitless many a time. But I don't give up. You keep trying because you know there's going to be that one point where you check back on that digital recorder, where you check back on your Echobox recordings or whatever app you're using, and there's that voice. And when you get that voice, it's worth all those hours of sitting, staring into the darkness and getting nothing, because that voice shouldn't be there. And especially when it responds back and it answers the question that you just asked, which again is an awesome feeling, guys. And just don't be discouraged. Just keep trying again and try again. Don't blame the hardware. A good workman does not blame his tools, and that works for everything. Don't blame the hardware. Don't blame the guys who write these apps. They're not guaranteeing it'll work. But you've got to keep trying, and you will get there. And even if you're new to this and Spirit are very reluctant to talk to you, keep trying, keep asking them. And eventually, they will. When it's time, when they want to communicate, they will. So just keep going. And you will not regret it, guys. You will get some awesome stuff. One of the other things, again, I was wanting to think on about getting evidence and how awesome it can be. Pugster wrote a version of his Paratech, which uses like an obelisk type of technique. It's not using reverse audio. I know we were talking about that, but this is just, letting you know how these things work. And he was awesome. He modified it for the Ghost Trail, the Ghost thing TV show I'm involved in, and he sent us an update. He'd updated it, put some more words in. It was awesome. And the way this works, like I said, it's just got a database of words. They're not pre-recorded. There's no pre-recorded audio. It's just a database of words, like a library of words. The Spirit can manipulate the energy around the device like a real obelisk, pull the word out. That's how it works. And you get speech synthesis that then spits out the word in like a robotic type of voice. Kind of know how it works, and again, go and watch some of the videos and you'll see. Turned it on, within 2 seconds of turning it on, it said my name. Again, the skeptics will say that that's programmed in there. Well, it is. It's a database of fucking words. He's put loads of names in there. But the fact it came out with my name within 2 seconds. But then I sat and thought, what question can I ask? What can I ask? Oh shit, what should I ask? Then a question popped into my head. The building I'm in now is supposed to be haunted. People told us they've, seen things, heard stories. That's what I'll ask. Who's haunting this building? There was just a thought. I hadn't get it out of my mouth yet. I was just about to speak it, and Paratech said a very specific name that is important to me. It's important to me. I'm going to have to tell you a little quick story. I know this is rambling on, but during the filming of the Ghost Trail, we're using one of Danny's apps that doesn't even have any human speech in it at all. It's just screeching noise. It's like a dark box thing. It's got no fucking discernible speech in it at all. It's just screeching noise, and it sounds hellish and freaks people out just listening to it before any voices come through it. And we did a session just testing it out. This voice burst out with one name. Boom. David. And it made members of the team ill. Some of them were ill for days. This burst of energy came out. This thing burst into fucking life, caused chaos. It caused chaos on problems on every episode we filmed after that. Our medium Sam kept picking up on this David, kept asking him to stand. Look, you need to move back. I'm trying to communicate with other spirits here. It caused problems. It followed Sam home from location, and she does private sessions with clients as well because she's a healer, she's a medium, she's a fantastic lady. And it even followed clients home, and they were phoning her up saying, what the fuck's going on here? What the hell is this thing? So that name and that specific name is very, very relevant, and it's an ongoing thing that is even happening now and affecting people in my life now. So for me to ask this question, who is haunting this building that I am in now? And it came up with 2 words, said David, haunt. out the blue, just like that. Again, could that be random? Yes, but I should be putting the fucking lottery on if I can hit a fucking question. I hadn't even gotten the question out of my mouth, it preempted what I was thinking. And of all the names that are programmed in there, the two it came out with in the first few minutes of testing was my name. Then when I think a question, before I can speak it, the answer is David Haunt. David's haunting every fucker that I have contact with. He's haunting people that I know in the field. He's caused problems in Gibraltar, filming the show. He's caused problems with Sam. He's even caused people who I speak to online about this have even felt the influence of David. And this app just picked up on it, just like that. Not, you can't, random, no fucking way can that be random. But it just shows a free app and it works. And it's mind blowing. And that's the type of responses you can get. So don't be despondent, guys. Now I'm going to leave this video now because we have hit the 26-minute mark. Jesus, if you've made it this far, well done. If you've made it this far and then you drop a comment like on some of the other videos, some of the Huff ones where you get the haters coming in and you complain and said, my God, I've just sat for 26 minutes listening to you drivel on. You didn't have to. You could have actually stopped at minute 2, minute 3, minute 5. You didn't have to make it to the end. So it's not my fault. You must have been interested enough to sit and watch it all this way. But I know you guys is not going to drop negative comments on. All the negative comments dropped on the Huff videos. Some of these guys, like I say, need to learn the definition of hate. When they drop a comment on and they basically throw vulgar, vile comments at us and say you're a hater and you're jealous and things like that. And I think you need to look at your own comment when you think about haters and jealousy. And I explain quite well in my videos, why am I jealous? You know what I mean? Huff didn't even write an app. He had an idea for an app, someone else wrote it, he slapped his name all over it, hyped it up to holy hell, sold it for an extortionate amount of money, and that's kind of it. And yes, does a lot of stuff in the ITC world, which, it's good on him. I started watching Huff when he first thing, but he kind of turned into a bit of a megalomaniac for me. Like, Spirit only want to communicate with me. Everyone else that's communicating with Spirit, it's demons and it's false and shit like that. And again, I don't want to get into all that sort of argument, but, that's why I made those videos. And I'm not jealous of anybody. I'm quite happy with where I am. I'm involved in a TV show. I'm quite happy with the tests I do, with the little videos I do. It's not about jealousy. It's about pointing out when someone is doing something that you feel isn't right. Like what you've said, people do charge, but there's charging and there's charging. There's putting misleading stuff in your sort of sales pitch about how your software works. And when people complain, well, it's not working, Mr. Huff. Oh, it's nothing to do with me. You're going to have to talk to Sanchez. He wrote the software for us. It's nothing to do with me. My name's just on it. You weren't saying that when you were plugging it. And then he tends to throw some interesting emails out to people. But that's the type of thing. I don't have anything personal about Huff. It's about what he's doing, not who he is. In one of the videos I even said, if he turned around and admitted he took things a bit far and he went back to his roots where he started, I wouldn't have a problem. Probably start watching him again and enjoying what he's doing because he started out okay. So, but anyway, we're digressing from the whole video there. We're going to leave that there, guys. Any comments, pop them down below. Let me know what you think of reverse audio. I think it's the way forward. I really do. And I'm going to do a few more videos on some of these apps. Still some of these apps popping out that are free, worth a look. I'll give them a test. If you see them on my channel, it means it worked. If you don't, obviously don't. I won't put anything on that literally doesn't work. If it doesn't work, I just chuck it out. So we're coming up to the 30-minute mark. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me drivel on, and we shall catch you next time on the next video.